You serious?
Yes, this is How to Kill an Hour. I'm Marcus Bronzy.
I'm Funk Butcher.
There's plenty of ways to kill some time out there. Right now, you're killing some time with us. That's right. Funk, if I wanted to find us on the internet, where would I go?
HowToKillAnHour.com.
If I wanted to read about the stuff that we spoke about on the show, where would I go?
HowToKillAnHour.com/blog.
Yes, that's correct. If I wanted to watch big ass booties jiggling and bouncing, what website would I go to?
Pornhub. No, joking.
And what kind of phone can you listen to How to Kill an Hour with?
Any phone.
Anything that connects to the internet, I believe.
Yeah, any phone that has power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
it needs power, innit?
Yeah,
it needs a battery because a phone without a battery. There's a Grime MC that says you're a piece of shit like when an iPhone is dead. That's Jeremy. I was like, when I heard that, I was like, yeah, man. What is your iPhone without power? It's just fucking blocked. Anyway, quick hello to podcast goals. Kelly Roche, Ryan Folan, Panopoly, Tech Now, Drive Now UK, PA Causey, and Little Miss Ent, Richard Fenton, Jay Schneider, Simon Sander, Ollie Furness, and Andy saying, and just Andy saying hi via Twitter. Love to you, man. You can find us on all social medias at How to Kill an Hour, innit?
Yeah.
I don't think that we make it hard to find us on the internet.
No, not at all.
Speaking of internet, I've got some really good news that I want to share with you. We've been kind of going through this issue for a little while, and I'm glad that we've overcome it as a team.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
There's light at the end of the tunnel, because we kind of touched on it right at the start of this episode, and that is the fact that us at How to Kill an Hour are now 100% not classified on the internet as a pornography site. For some reason, for like ever since we've been about, if you try to log in on like internet in certain places that had like child restrictions, it would say, I'm sorry, you cannot access this internet this website. And I started looking at all the small print for this when it popped up, and we were categorized as a porn site.
So that's why I was getting all the bookings from porn stars instead of DJ bookings.
Is that why I felt like that's why Billy's inbox was blowing up with loads of like porn requests and like hot singles in your area?
Well, I thought it was because I tried to access it at work to do if I needed to like do it. And I thought it was because it had the word kill in it. I thought
it was kill, but it became up as pornography. Like I tried to go on some porn on a restricted internet service just to check. Obviously, it was just for checking whether we were still pornography.
Oh yeah.
Whether How to Kill an Hour is still
many hours.
Pull the other one.
Yeah, that's how I like to kill my hours. So yeah, we're not porn anymore.
Hey.
Anyway, Mario Kart has now been out for a few days. Yeah. And is it fair to say that we're big fans of Mario Kart?
It's only been a few days. Feel like we've been playing it for weeks.
Yeah, because we got the exclusive. We got the exclusive. But I'm going to be honest. I'm going to fall back a little bit here because I have played some Mario Kart and I've been giving it smack talk. Yeah. And my smack talk's still strong. Yeah.
But right now, it's only talk.
If you've seen the live broadcast on How to Kill an Hour, the live broadcast of the gameplay that we launched on a day of play, I'm going to be honest, the guy behind those firsts was Marcus Bronzy, I'm not gonna lie, I was on the control pads, and I'm still not gonna stop talking smack about my skills at Mario Kart. Just when I have a bit of time, we'll knock it out. But you guys have been playing a lot more Mario Kart over the weekend. Played the online session. So the game we like. What's the online? What's the difference with online, guys? What was the experience like?
Well, the online is pretty much
seamless, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
What's online like for the Wii anyway? When you're online, because obviously I've not had a go at this at all, so I know what PlayStation Network's like. I know what Xbox Online. What's the login in process?
Have you had a go at playing online?
No, I haven't gone online. So
the first time I got it, I played online, and literally you get the me characters come up, and you play everyone around. I guess it's a bit similar to anyone who plays FIFA. And you kind of play people around the world, and so they match you up with, I guess, people who are the same ability and within your region in Europe, I guess. And yeah, it's again seamless. There's no real loading times. There's no real lag whilst the game starts. And when we played each other, it's pretty much the same, isn't it, Billy?
It was a bit. You had to restart your console.
Yeah, so there was a bit of an issue kind of finding Billy on the old Switch, because the way you pair up people at the moment is that you have to enter in a code. So it's not like the PlayStation Network where you kind of use a user login name. You enter in a code, a unique code that everyone's got who's got a Nintendo Switch, and you add that in, and you have to find that person through the internet. And when we kind of got over that little kerfuffle, it was all systems go.
So how do you find each other? Is it like you just put in each other's usernames and that's it?
So you get the user code and you enter that in, and then you literally create a room, and you can actually, but that room stays there. So I think that's...
So the room's there right now?
Yeah, so the room's there right now.
Room's on Mario Kart.
Yeah.
But to add a person, in the top left-hand corner, you've got your username with like whoever you chose. So for example, my name's Billy, and I put like Mario, so you click on Mario.
What's your name, Billy?
You click on there and it's got
down. What's your name, Billy?
Yeah.
Oh, smack.
Go down there.
That's small world.
And select add friend, and you have to type the long code in, then it comes up like that.
So you have to put this long code in, but only do it once.
Yeah. So what I mean is that room stays there, so you don't literally have to kind of create this room again to add Billy or whoever into that room. It stays there. So the moment you go online, there's this dedicated room for whoever's in there.
And is this just for Mario Kart, or is this a room where you can...
I'm assuming it would be just for Mario Kart.
Okay, cool.
I have noticed that you can change your username, and you don't have to pay, like with PlayStation and Xbox, you have to pay to change your username.
Mm-hmm.
With username, it's selected the same name as I've got as my user.
Yeah. So
if I change that, I should be able to just change it as many times as I like.
Okay.
Cool. And no cost for going online?
No cost at the moment, but they said they're going to roll out cost. They have warned us they're going to roll out cost towards the back end of 2017.
How much will we pay?
No price as of yet. It obviously has to be in line with what PlayStation are currently. I think PlayStation are about £15. It's the cheapest rate. The PlayStation Network is about £15 for every 3 months. So it's going to have to kind of fall in line with that. But who knows?
How much would you pay?
Well, Xbox is £40 a year, so I don't know whether PlayStation do a yearly one.
Yeah, I think the PlayStation should do a yearly one. How much would I be willing to pay? It depends really, because I guess you could argue that with something as handheld and portable, you'd be using a lot more than a PlayStation and Xbox. So I guess they could justify a price hike in comparison to the other consoles, because you would be using the Switch more in more places. So they could charge £40 for 3 months based on the fact that you'd be using it at work, at home. Would you
be cool with that though?
No,
nah.
I wouldn't. Yeah. But I guess they could justify that. I'm not giving you any ideas, Nintendo, but yeah.
I'd pay 50 if it's more than 50. I don't know. You know what?
For the year?
I don't know, but if it's for the year,
you pay 50 for the year.
I think I'll just do it, man. Whatever it is. Obviously, if it's £1,000, I won't do it. But I think even if it was like higher than that, I'd kind of just do it, man.
Yeah.
You don't want to do the monthly bit by bit. I'd rather just get out the way. I don't know.
Well, I will say that it is quite difficult to communicate with one another. There's no at the moment anyway, there's no internal messaging system. There is
a messaging system of sorts, but it's very kind of basic. There's kind of like
pre-written things.
Yeah, preset.
Like, is there like a fuck you? No, there isn't. Is it Mario Kart?
It's like, hey, good race, and that was close, and little slogans you can kind of...
Oh, can you be... I love being sarcastic with them. Like, if somebody loses, I always would be like, hey, great race, well done. Like you do that?
Yeah, so you got those little kind of slogans in there afterwards, but they're very basic, and it's about, I don't know.
Right.
You're not limited to like 5 things you can say after the race. I think there's about 20 or something like that.
Do we need in-game chat? Do we need it though? Why?
Because when I go online...
It's when people like him, smack talkers like Billy, he needs it, yeah.
Well, I'm FIFA. I'm not the greatest, so I get smack talk thrown my way. But yeah, I think you can just talk to someone and say like, I'll be back in a minute. Once you have to, instead with texting, I think it's just easier just to talk to one another.
Yeah,
I just find it easier.
I think the ease of texting is to kind of arrange the meeting or the room beforehand. I think if you had that on there, because I find what you kind of fall into is that you're messaging your friend or your network of colleagues via WhatsApp, via Twitter.
Yeah.
And if you could do that through the actual interface itself, then that would be even better.
Because there are some people that I'll game with, but I wouldn't necessarily want them to have my number.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we found somebody who sounded a lot like one of our friends, for example, online randomly, and we just all added him and got them in the group and got them to start talking, and no one could tell the difference.
Oh, wow.
So we just do madness like that. But I don't want this guy from Birmingham that I've met online to really have my number. So I suppose that's a good point. What about a bit of lobby chat then? Bit of lobby banter, like in COD.
Yeah.
I do like a bit of that though.
I predict all this is going to happen. I think towards the back end of the year, you're going to see more things. Probably a browser, probably a Netflix app, and again, like more titles using this kind of this internet function.
Yeah, well, there is stuff going around about there being an online browser. I've heard like there's a browser that people are hacking.
Yeah,
like, there is one on the Switch, and they're using it. So there's a way. So yeah, I reckon they'll give us a browser at some point.
Yeah,
man. YouTube.
And that's the thing. If it can be hacked, it's obviously there to be used, but they just haven't given us the keys to kind of use it yet.
Yeah.
The only question I would say is how would the Switch utilize the microphone? Like, because there's no Bluetooth on it, so you can't use a Bluetooth headphone.
Is there a mic on it?
No, I'm pretty sure there's not.
Plug-in headset, innit? Apple headphones.
Yeah,
be ready.
They'll probably roll up some sort of a peripheral for it.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right. So, Mario Kart Online. Bit more about it, like the battle modes, because the battle modes are kind of sexy. Have you done any of the battle modes, guys?
Yeah,
done a couple, innit?
Yeah. To be fair, the battle mode didn't bring as much nostalgia as I would have hoped. It is very kind of chaotic, the battle mode, which is cool, but I feel like with a small screen, with a lot going on, that amount of chaos, it can be a bit overwhelming kind of thing from that aspect.
I didn't think it was that bad, although we did get spanked by the computer, so
yeah
bots
we
are
didn't.
all right, aren't they?
Huh?
Yeah, put them on hard, the bots
are brilliant, but I do prefer the kind of the race mode. For me, that is the real excitement. Literally, you can be leading right up until the last lap in first place, and you can still lose. Shots fired. Don't worry, Billy. Billy's got a lot of talk now. I call it beginner's luck. You ever heard of that, Billy? Beginner's luck? Yeah. All right.
So what? So who do I need to brush in here to get bragging rights?
You still need to brush me. I'm still the champ, man.
Yeah.
Still the champ.
Still the champ.
Well, you was winning that last race, and then a turtle came towards you.
Billy, you need to get your Zelda up, man.
Oh wow, is that you do, Funk? Oh my god, that's a classic one. Yeah, but I'll mash you up on FIFA though. You took it there.
You took it there. Because your Zelda map is looking very sparse.
To be fair though, the races have been pretty close with one another.
Man.
Yeah, they have.
You know what? Like we actually, I do want to talk about Zelda actually in a second, but like the world has gone Mario Kart crazy for a little while. Like, and I want to say big shout out to Walmart in America, Asda his own Target in America, because we don't have like a Target over here. The closest thing is we have got Asda's where you can buy like a TV and stuff, but you can't like buy guns, obviously for obvious reasons.
Yep.
But I feel like in America, Target you can get some cool ass stuff. But they celebrated. Target's like the second biggest store after Walmart, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they celebrated its release.
Mario Kart's release.
Yeah. By turning shopping trolleys into Mario Kart go-karts.
Very sick.
And they had like Mario music playing. If they did that here, do you know how much men would go shopping? No, they all the relationships in the UK between a man and a woman, guarantee you the man would go shopping that afternoon and evening. Could you imagine what it's like?
And they wouldn't bug their wife to leave early as well. They'd be happy to stay there and let her browse.
It would be chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was thinking, why don't we do something like this here? But I realised it would. In the UK, we tend to get a bit crazy sometimes.
Well, to be fair, in East London, we've got at the moment, it's supposed to be the biggest shopping centre in Europe, Westfield.
Yeah.
And if you've seen this shopping centre, it would make the ultimate track. If you was in like a Mario Kart little buggy or whatever, just driving around that shopping centre, because I've seen the kids, they've got one for kids in it. They've got this little thing, this motorized like section where these kids can go in these. They look like go-karts, but they're controlled. They don't really go any fast. I think they're manned by someone. Yes. But imagine, obviously for health and safety reasons,
manned by someone.
Yeah. But if you could have like free reign, just clear out that shopping centre, go out through the whole floors, it actually would look like a track on Mario Kart.
If adults were allowed to do this, do you think we would get a little bit excited maybe, and it might be a situation where we are throwing, I don't know, half of a watermelon at each other instead of green shells?
Yeah.
Or actual banana skins on a track?
Yeah.
Could we do that?
I mean,
I'm ready for that experience. I'm ready for a real blue shell.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the kind of the driving habits of some of the people in EU, even though we're not farewell EU now that we're leaving. I think if you were to compare that Mario Kart concept with Italian drivers, there's going to be some casualties, man. There's going to be some casualties. When I DJ'd in Rome, that was the one thing that kind of absolutely confused me. How the hell they actually navigated beyond the traffic lights. It looked like absolute carnage. The way they kind of were. There was no road markings that I could see. There was no road markers I could see in parts of central Rome. And somehow, some way, they avoided crashing. It looked like, I don't know, rush hour in Mumbai.
I don't know, man. Anyway, back to our target. So yeah, they've done that. What could we do here that's like cool like that? Will we ever have the guts to do stuff like that in like supermarkets? Like let a game take over a whole supermarket?
Do you know why? Because once again, coming back to Brexit, we don't want to incur any legal problems.
Oh, is that because Mario's Italian?
No, not even that. I'm sure someone would get hit or run over, or there'll be some sort of legal implications for driving at speed in a shopping centre. Considering now that there's been new laws on speeding fines, and they've reduced the speed in central London to 20 miles per hour. When I first started driving, it was like 30 and 40 in some parts. Yeah. Now it's reduced to 20. At some stage, it would be like you just gotta get out and walk.
Just walk.
Yeah, just walk.
So the rules are you just park and walk. Cars aren't allowed to move. You can have a car, but if police see it moving, you'll get a ticket.
The new law in 2050 will be you can have a car, but you can't drive it.
Okay. You could just get in it and go boom, boom.
Yeah, that would be the law.
All right, fair enough. Right. Anyway, so Nintendo Switch, they've hit 1 million sales of the console.
Of course.
And this happened a little while ago, so it's not today.
Yeah.
I think it happened about a week or so ago. So according to Nintendo and NPD, the computer game giants have sold a total of 906 units in its first month. So they've definitely...
906?
1,000 units, sorry. But they've definitely bust 1 million by now.
Okay.
But the Wii U, they hit 890,000 units in its first 6 weeks in 2012. So it's doing well, right? The Nintendo Switch, right? Doing very well. I mean,
it's the fastest selling Nintendo console of all time.
Exactly. I mean, yes, there are more PS4s that have been sold and more Xbox ones that have been sold. Cool, get it, because I know there's a couple of people that are still feeling a bit saucy about that. Yeah. But what's interesting though is Zelda Breath of the Wild has sold 1.3 million copies since its launch. So
more people have Zelda than they do consoles.
Yeah.
Have you heard the reasoning behind this?
And all right, there's actually a breakdown, but there's still something fishy going on.
Yeah.
925,000 of those were Switch copies and 460,000 were for the Wii U. Cool. But 925,000 Switch games have been sold. 906 units have been sold at the time this article was written. Why are there more people buying a game when they haven't got a console? Is that how good the game is? People are buying the game before the console comes to their door.
I did that.
Did you do that as well?
I bought the game before I got the console.
Yeah. Why would you do? Why?
Because I didn't have enough money for the console. I had to wait to get paid.
So you just was like, all right, I'll get the game. Yeah, but like, wouldn't you just get it all at once? Though, is what I'm saying.
What if they sold out of the console until 2020?
Then I'm stuck.
you borrow mine.
You just sit there looking at the cartridge. And you just have to imagine.
Yeah, you can do the theme music with your mouth and pretend to play it.
So what does this mean then for the Switch? Do you think it's established itself as a console that's one of the big boys out there then, yeah?
I think the thing is with Nintendo, aside from the fact you've got gamers, you got your regular gamers, and then you got your fanatics, your cults following. And Nintendo has got a massive cult following because it plays a big part of people's childhood and their history. So that contingent, which are kind of very, very strongly attached to the nostalgic part of it, they were doing things like buying the limited edition Zelda and buying the normal copy of Zelda.
Jesus.
So they were racking up, and then some of them were selling it on eBay for ridiculous prices kind of thing. So that's going to happen with titles like Zelda. Not so much the other titles. I wouldn't expect that to happen with their titles like ARMS or what's the other one they've got on there?
1-2 switch.
1-2 switch, or the what's the Clippers one?
Clipper.
Is it
Clipper snips.
Snips? Yeah, Snipper Clips or something like that.
Clipper snips.
Yeah. So I wouldn't expect it to happen with those kind of titles because they don't hold as much esteem culturally like Zelda. But yeah, people were buying 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it's the same thing which happens with the whole sneaker market. We have some people buying limited edition Jordans just to keep or just to flog on for 4 times the price.
Interesting. So, if we were PlayStation or Xbox, how are we feeling about the Nintendo Switch coming in whilst we've just launched versions of our consoles which are newer, faster, stronger, more processing power, 60 frames a second, 1080p, and Nintendo goes do 720p. Hey, but our games are sick though, and you can take us anywhere you want. How are we feeling?
If I was PlayStation and so if I was Sony and Microsoft right now, I would be feeling a bit like Vladimir Klitschko in the 6th round on the fight of the weekend. Like you've got him, you've got the young boy, the pretender to the crown on the ropes. It's plain sailing from here.
Yeah,
there's no way you should be losing this. And what's happened is that he came back and he won.
The kid came back.
The kid came back. Anthony Joshua came back and won. So literally, what I'm poking at with the analogy is that there was a point in time in my history where Nintendo was on the ropes. We thought it was going to go down the Sega route and be completely dead and buried. Sega.
Yeah. All right.
So literally, it's had a miraculous turnaround. Kind of firstly flogging his software to other parties, which we thought that they'll never do, and now kind of coming back with a strong console. So it could be the rebirth.
Interesting. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. I mean, there's 3 boys in the studio, 3 Nintendo Switches in the studio.
Yes,
we're invested. We're down for it. And there's a couple people trolling out there that are saying things about the Nintendo Switch, but for me, I don't want to sound like because remember when we walked out, and if you've listened to this episode, you remember this. Remember when we walked out of the Nintendo thing, I said I fucking love this console. Yeah. But is it the event that's gassed me? Because it was a great event that made me get like, and am I going to think in a few days' time this is like, it's all right. I'm going to find fault, but I'm really struggling to find fault beyond the chat party stuff you said, Billy. I'm struggling to find fault with this console. You know, what were you saying, Bill? You did put your hand in the air. I do like. I did feel like
interrupt. I was like,
I did like that. I think we should introduce Billy just putting his hands in the air.
I thought he
just putting them in the air.
I just thought he was putting his hands in the air and waving like he just don't care.
He does do that sometimes, you know. He does. Sometimes I heard he does like to sit on the bus, and when it goes over a hill, he goes, "Hey!"
And through a tunnel.
Hey,
and through a tunnel as well.
Hey, oh.
Going back to that Sony and Microsoft, I wouldn't. If I was Microsoft Sony, I wouldn't really give a fuck.
Oh,
really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because most people that have a Nintendo like their gaming, so then they're going to have a PlayStation or an Xbox anyway. I find like with the Wii U, most people that I knew anyway had a main console, like the PlayStation or the Xbox, and they had the Wii U or the Wii, sorry, as like their party console that they bash out then that they bring out.
Yeah. It's all right, Billy.
They bring out when there's a party.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the similar sort of thing with Switch, but it's a bit more mainstream. But I can see it being like a secondary console to a Sony or an Xbox.
Yeah, but I've got to come back at you, Billy, with the body shot, because the Nintendo Switch, I think, culturally can change things because it is doing the portable thing so good. It makes you. I saw an article basically saying that the problem with the Nintendo Switch is that you actually want to play your Call of Duty, you actually want to play your Nier Automata, you actually want to play your Final Fantasy 7, which are titles on home-based consoles. You actually now want to play them in a more kind of like a setting where you're on the go, and you can't do that. So the Nintendo Switch is kind of changing sensibilities about where you play your gaming. A bit like when games came out on the iPhone, people started realizing, this is okay. I don't actually have to be at home in my comfy chair with my headset on, chatting rec to my friends. I can actually play games on the go and have fun of a good quality as well. So I think the Switch is kind of carrying on from where the iPhone and the Android games kind of left off.
I feel like, so the PS4 is like P Diddy and the Bad Boy family.
Yeah.
We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Bad Boys for life.
Yeah.
And you're like and the Nintendo Switch is like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, man.
Be humble.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Move on. We will keep an eye on this. We will keep an eye on this. I was gonna play the tunes, but whatever. So another giant actually who's actually kind of been out of the spotlight a little bit like for us anyway, but it's still been around doing their thing. Apple.
Mm-hmm.
If you visit an Apple store in a not too distant future, you may see the Hover Passport drone flying around. Now, the Hover Passport drone is part of this kind of new breed of drone which we're looking at, which is kind of like the selfie drone. We've looked at the Air Selfie, other drones like that. It's like a small drone, throw up in the air, and you can take a picture. No selfie stick needed. Now, what makes this quite a good sell is that it kind of has a big emphasis on the blades being covered, which means it's great for the drone, means you can bounce into a wall and be fine. And you ain't worried about it like cutting up your face if it takes a wrong move. It's a great drone, but Apple are quite serious about this because they're selling it for $100 cheaper than the 00 Robotics website, who are the makers of it. $500 still is what it's going to cost, but they're selling it for $100 cheaper in their store. So Apple look like to be investing in this sort of drone side of things as well, because I've seen drones in a lot of electronic shops, supermarkets and stuff like that. But what are your thoughts on a 500 quid selfie drone? £500 for a selfie?
They'd have to rebrand it as away from the selfie drone, because something in me doesn't feel good spending £500 or $500 worth on a product for selfies.
Yeah,
it has to be marketed as something that you can use for other kind of video capture.
You want a 4K? You want a 4K camera in it?
Yeah. I mean, what is the quality of the camera on this?
Let's find out. Do you mind filling for me? Let's get the details. Let's see if we've got that 4K business, because it's actually on the Apple website.
Yeah.
It doesn't say in the spec. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So what's
4K? No, 4K up to 4K.
Really?
30 megapixel. So what we're looking at then is if it's got good stabilization.
Okay.
You might drop down to 10. This is me guessing. You might drop down to 1080p if it's stabilized the image.
Yeah.
Because when you stabilize a picture, basically you, for reasons that I ain't gonna long on about, but you basically zoom in a little bit to make it look steady, so you lose a bit of quality.
Okay.
So
it doesn't need to market itself as a selfie.
No,
drone.
but I think that's what people kind of call it. But it's like it's a handheld drone.
Okay.
I'd say, throw it up in the air, but it looks good. It's got a few bits of functionality as well, like it can spin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, 500 quid for a drone like that. Now I'm kind of thinking might be worth the moolah.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at it like that. I mean, what are your thoughts though on it?
Well, considering there was that marketing campaign iPhone did, I believe, with the iPhone 6.
Yeah.
And they literally had a whole range of regular folk, and they put their pictures, their shots that they taken personally on their website, and they had like a whole collection of their images. And I guess if they want to kind of go down that route to kind of aim at the budding photographers and filmmakers out there, kind of thing, ooh, it does look nice. Really, just show me on the computer.
Yeah.
Very nice. But again, the strength is in the market as to whether or not it will take off.
Okay.
Because there is this whole battle on social media between the narcissists and the rest of us out there, and we love to poke fun. I mean, the selfie drones are they're sitting there eating their, what's it called, the selfie droners rather. They're sitting there eating their vegan meals,
practicing duck face parts.
Yeah, doing yoga.
And drinking fit tea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I realized though? We could actually be, realistically, it's going to happen, innit? You're going to be in a club one day, the biggest tune of the night's going to come on, and instead of Snapchatters, everyone's going to be throwing their drones in the air in the club.
Oh my word.
It's going to get hectic.
Yeah.
Drones in clubs.
Yeah.
That's got to have happened already at some point.
Yeah.
A drone in a club. Anyway,
I'm surprised I haven't seen any drone shots at any festivals.
Yeah.
No ceilings.
Oh, yeah. No, I think they have. I think there've been a few drones and things, but Funk, I'm a little bit upset.
Go on.
No, I'm a little bit I'm not feeling happy about I mean, I feel like, can I play sad music?
Yeah, go for it.
Japan, leaders of technology, funk.
Yeah.
I mean, they've brought us technology that, you know, that we talk about on the show all the time. It's fair to say a lot of stuff is made over in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
They've created something which I think is going to make me watch a lot less Olympic sports.
What's that?
They've created a team of sports robots to help their national women's volleyball team improve their game. Players who get close to the net won't be playing other players, Funk. Women's volleyball is being taken over by robots. No more slow-mo 4K on my skybox. Bruv, please, Japan, don't take away women's volleyball from me. But no, seriously though, they've got this volleyball robot that basically is like a pair of hands in the air, and they have to play volleyball against it. They are using robots to train humans for volleyball now. This is amazing.
I'm just shaking my head.
Why? Because robots don't tire. You can have a training partner that is always ready.
I'm just watching the video now on the screen.
Yeah.
These hands in the air.
I think it's pretty cool. Are you not a fan of the hands in the air that are trying to for practicing volleyball?
I think it looked like they run out of funding in the scheme because they didn't get the rest of the they couldn't build the rest of the body of the robot, so they just said, yeah, just chuck some hands in there.
It did get me thinking though, would you watch esports or robotic sports if it was two robot teams playing against each other? Like, for example, say they took this into football, let's future gaze. So they got robots that were good enough to train against squads for drills. Yeah. Then they developed them for like short games. Then they develop them so they could have like 11-a-side games. Yeah. Then they maybe replace a couple of players with robots and have a robot league, and then you have a full robot league, like an Arsenal football team or a Man United robot league. Yeah. Would you be on that? Would you be watching that?
Yeah, because I'd watch it till it rains, and then they malfunction, and they start doing some killer tackles.
That'd be great. Oh, yes. Imagine the contact of that, like two shins as sparks flying off each other as they tackle.
I'm talking about when they turn on the humans and turn into a death match.
Then there'd be robot hooligans as well. Oh, bruv. Yeah. But please, no, seriously though, Japan, don't take away women's volleyball. Yeah. Because I have to say that's one of my favourite sports to watch. I mean, it's like, I can't even speak about how much I love watching volleyball, man.
I mean, there was a How to Kill an episode we spoke about the kind of this bionic Olympics, didn't we? Yeah. This seems like an extension of that soon. Those were robotic parts kind of attached to humans, and now we're actually replacing the humans with robots, and soon be Robo Olympics.
I mean, but at what point does it start getting like at what point does it start becoming feasible though to like have whole robot teams? I mean, or does it just take the fun out of it? Because I love Robot Wars. I love nothing but I would love to see two robots. I'd love to see, like, what was that boxing film with Hugh Jackman? I always call him Huge Jackman. I can't call him that anymore because he's not Wolverine. Hugh Jackman now. Where he's like boxing robots.
I keep forgetting the name of this film.
Yeah, there's a film where he boxes robots, man. Are you looking for us, Bill?
Yeah.
Real Steel.
That's it, Real Steel. That's a fucking quality film. Yeah. It's a great film. I would have given that an Oscar.
It's a tearjerker.
It's a fam. All right, real talk. All right, on this show, real talk. I've done some acting, over the last year or so. And
hasn't it just been released?
What, Real Steel?
The film. No, I'm in the sequel, bruv. The first film happens in 1955. Yeah. This is the Risen film, which is about to get released. I'm about to go and see it, actually. And I'm in the second one. So the second one's based in like modern day UK. But so I had to do some crying for some acting that I did, some crying scenes. I'm not gonna lie, Real Steel might be one of the films that I might look to just get a bit of emotional fuel.
How do they do that? What do they do? Put some chili under your eyes, or
We're crying.
yeah?
I actually cried, bro.
So you can cry on. Okay, cry now.
Nah, man, I ain't that good. G. I ain't that good. I did it, and I don't know. It could look shit. This is the thing.
I've always wondered how actors do that.
This is the thing. I'm not a professional actor like that. Like so yeah, yeah. I had tweezers in my pocket and I was plucking out leg hairs. I know, brother. I just had to really focus, man.
Yeah.
It was weird.
On what though?
Like sad things, like Real Still, like that. No, those are powerfully emotional moments in Real Still. Like at the moment when he turns the robot. No, I can't get into it, bro. The moment where he there's a robot at the end of the film. The control pad isn't working properly or whatever, so the robot has to mimic his movements.
Yeah, yeah.
And like Hugh Jackman's like a washed up old boxer.
Yeah.
And his son, who he's just met, is like watching him like actually fight against this robot, because the robot that's on their team is mimicking his movement, so he actually has to start swinging and fighting like he used to.
Yeah.
See the old man like, bruv, don't. I'm starting to well up. But yeah, so like there's little things like films like that I used to watch to get me kind of emotional for an emotional scene. I don't know I don't have no professional acting methods. There's like Meisner technique and all that sort of stuff. I just watched some sad shit, man, and got sad. Get me? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think if there wasn't a Real Still, you'd probably just watch something else emotional, like the recent US election.
Couldn't do it. No, I just couldn't. I just couldn't do it.
That'd make you cry.
Yeah. Well, you know that. Nah, I don't think without Real Still, I don't think I could cry. There you go. Ever. And that's how we're going to wrap this episode of How to Kill an Hour. I've been Marcus Bronzy.
I've been Funk Butcher.
I've been Producer Bill.
Yeah. Plenty of ways to kill some time out there. Thank you for killing some time with us. Bless.